Hey everybody, welcome back. HSC Podcast. We are in the movie and entertainment section. If you checked out our sports, thanks for watching it and join us for movies and both. Don't forget to subscribe and get the new weekly podcast where we'll be doing our movie reviews and as well as our updates in sports. So here we go with a new movie segment. I love new movie segments. I don't know about you guys, but it's actually more fun than new sports segments because it's always like Super Bowl football, everything's always in order except what the media's talking about, and we don't really care about that. So new movie segment is we're just gonna do what we call the MOW, the movie of the week. And so inauguration movie is Old School. So first of all, I mean, what a great pick. So this is obviously yours, Derek.
I
Tell
mean,
them why the big smooth's picking Old School.
it just popped in my head. I'm like, I haven't seen Old School in a while, and that movie's awesome. So I was like, let's do Old School. And then I looked it up to see if it was free so everyone could watch it easily.
So that's important, right? We want to make sure that everybody has easy access because
It should be required viewing in most high schools, old school.
that's low end film quality classes, right? They're like, I want you to base your movies off of this movie.
Like film school in college. Okay, we're gonna study old school. That's what I would
Right,
do.
right. Well, 2003, there was an interesting thing happening there because you had some different movies in those time frames with, you know, um, Vince Vaughn and Will Ferrell, the Wilson brothers. It's like Owen's popping up in one, and Luke's in this one, and it kind of fit that era though for movies, and that's why I think it really hit the. For me, it hit the button because it's like there was already good movies in this era like that, and this one just kind of like topped those ones as this kind of ridiculous but just really good movie, right?
Right. I mean, I put it up there as one of the top movies of the 2000 to 2010 era for comedies. I mean, it's Luke Wilson is perfect as like the straight man in this. And they're like, Godfather, Godfather.
Yeah.
And he's shh. Anytime he's trying to look normal.
He does play a good real estate lawyer, right?
Yeah.
Like if you had a real estate lawyer that just, was a little bit more friendly and social than the other ones, like that would be Luke Wilson. But they
Well, think
still
about it.
all
He played
have
a
that real cold, you know, lifeless personality, I guess.
well, and then he played a lawyer in Legally Blonde too. So he knows how to play comedy lawyers.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting is 2 years later, then Vince Vaughn plays with his brother as the lawyers, right? Or well, mediators or whatever they're playing, but doing some law type stuff. And then Owen Wilson's in that movie, and then Will Ferrell makes his appearance in Wedding Crashers.
Right.
Yeah, he plays the fool so well. Because he's the total fool in this movie. I mean, just his wife cheats on him. He's gotta be, the best man at the wedding. He's hammered. And it's like he doesn't care about anything anymore, and his buddies are like, "Hey, dude, let's start a fraternity." Like it's the greatest idea ever. I mean, it's like,
The greatest
I
idea
mean, you
ever.
can't even like. I'd be like, okay,
Well, they
but
they have the dynamic, they put it together so well because Will Ferrell obviously plays the role as Frank as well as anybody's going to play it, right?
he should
And
have
so
got a
you're
nomination for it.
right,
It
you're
was that
casting
he should have
top
been at
level.
the Oscars. He shouldn't win. I'm just saying he should be there. Like, come on,
For
dude.
that role, right? I mean,
You
who
know,
doesn't love Frank the Tank?
Frank,
you
I
don't know
mean,
how many times I've gone, oh, I got a busy day ahead of me today. Gotta go to Home
dude,
Depot.
I think
Might have to
about
go to
Derek
Bed Bath and
all the
Beyond.
time at that part. All the time. I'm like, Frank the Tank, dude. It's like we're going streaking through the quad, and then Snoop Dogg. I mean, Snoop Dogg's in the movie.
Yeah.
He's like Snoop, a-doop, a-doop.
Bring your
It's like,
hat.
where's your hat? Where's your-
So it's interesting, Derek, that you bring that up because when you watch it, like that hits home for so many people when they're like, you know, he says he's got stuff to do, but the young college kid's like, "Oh, what do you got to do? It's Saturday, you know." And he's like, talks about go Home Depot and if we have time, Bed Bath and Beyond. And like you're watching it and you're watching them and it's painful for you too because you're like, "Oh man." You're like, "Just drink it. Come on, Will, just take it. Turn in Frank the Tank. Let's do it."
What did
Like
his
you're in
wife
with him.
say? Now we don't want to bring Frank the Tank back like before.
Yeah.
He's like, that was the best.
True.
Right. And then he's working on the car though, and they're setting it up, right? You
Right.
know he's going Frank the Tank because he's got I think it's White Snake they're playing in the
He's kept. Here we go. Yeah.
and then he's fixing up the car and I'm that's not me anymore, honey.
Yeah.
He brings out the like iced tea and he's like, no, I got a fresh brew right here.
Right. So he obviously he does that job, and then you got to look at Vince Vaughn's role, where he owns all the Stereo Cities, and so he doesn't have any. He wants to spend his money on these things like the fraternity, and it's like when they show up in the van and they're capturing the pledges. You
Yeah.
know that Vince Vaughn's character just went out and like bought that van for this one thing, and then they
Right.
use it later in the movie for the cheating on the tests.
No, it's and then when they're at the house and he has the baby strapped to him, and I just in general in life, I just think about earmuffs all the time. Like there's so many times I'm like earmuffs,
Right.
like earmuffs, kids, earmuffs.
You just have to say earmuffs, and then you can go bleep, bleep, bleep,
You can
bleep.
say anything you want. But they play so well together because he says that and he's in a very serious character for a second, and then Will Ferrell starts saying the words, and he's like, "Don't take advantage of it,"
Yeah, you're like an injured fawn being nursed back to health. That line.
Yeah, and then Luke Wilson plays it so well, right? But because you expect him to say something stupid like, "Oh, my friends are releasing me into the wild, re-releasing me into the
Yeah,
wild," and
and she's like,
they're
"What
like,
are you talking
"What are you
about?"
talking about?"
And then you find out she's a high school student, and then
Oh,
the
and your
boss's daughter.
The
your
boss's
boss's
daughter.
daughter. Got to throw that in there. I mean, it really is such a good movie because of the acting, right? The acting is phenomenal. Jeremy Piven playing the dean, just made for that role.
We can't forget about our boy. Can't
Yeah.
forget about Blue.
Blue.
Bloated.
Oh, you're my boy, Blue. Joseph Pulaski. I mean, it's so
It's
weird
like,
though. Come on. The dude can just die and nobody questions anything.
He's like, this guy, and he's like, oh yeah, he won't shut up about joining.
So overall, there's so many good scenes to the movie, but they have to have like the love interest, and obviously, and then Craig Kilborn, makes his little cameo in there. But you know how the story's going to play out. You know that eventually she's going to finally see the good in Luke Wilson, and he's going to, finish out that. But you gotta love like then the continuance they show at the end of the frat, living on, and they're hanging his picture on the wall.
And then Juliette Lewis showing up back at the end at the grocery store.
Right. She
I mean,
also at the beginning is hilarious, right? It's not a big
Yeah.
role, but
some,
just the way she acts, like it's no big deal. You're like, dude, so good.
yeah, I love because when he's at the wedding and making the speech, he's like, sometimes you think you have true love, and it's just hammered, and then you catch the early flight home from San Diego. Just, yeah, I'll just stop right there.
Right.
And then, yeah. Oh,
And then you got to make it a little cheesy with them passing the exam and whatever
Yeah,
type
the
thing they want to call it,
debate.
the all the testing. And so you have that part of it, but then you still, even when you win, you lose.
Yeah, and this is what annoys me, the tranquilizer part. Like,
Oh,
yes.
but of course, I'm like,
That's
Sean
awesome.
Sean William Scott, come on.
John, that's awesome.
The hair, the
Yeah,
Joe Dirt hair, he's got going on.
talk about a cameo right there.
Like when he shakes the cage and he's like, yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
talking to you. The face he makes though when Will Ferrell shoots himself with the dart is top tier when it comes to impressions or facial expressions. I'm sorry. Um, it's just so good when the dart hits him. You really think that dart actually hit him in that guy's mind. And, the way he was playing that role, that was funny.
What, what did he say? I forgot what he said. Oh my God. Is this bad? Like, what's
You
yeah.
He's
better
like,
take
He's
that
like,
out. You better pull
it's
that out.
not cool. He's like, no.
it's like pull what out, and then when he does the scene
You're
where he
crazy,
falls,
man.
The
and they
dart
got like
man.
the animal noises in the background. He's making and he's knocking over tables and chairs. Like there's so many good scenes.
Well,
Yeah.
the one that always, yeah, you're right. It's like it's scene after scene of like absurdity, like the scene where they're doing the gymnastics and they're like, he's like picking out. He's like, I'm going to pick these people at random, and he's like, you, Weensy, and it's like the dude that's like
Yeah,
400 pounds, and he's got to do the
It's
vault,
just,
and they're like, don't worry, Abdul was down there to catch you, and he's like 80-pound.
because that's the thing, you don't have to add in Abdul to catch him in the scene to make the scene, but they did to make it that much better. Because what's funnier than 80-pound Abdul gonna spot this guy on his landing from his vault, right? So
yeah. What was, yeah, okay, I remember that part. Okay.
overall, I mean, highly recommended, right? I mean, obviously we've seen it before. I hadn't seen it in a while, so it was really a great refresh. So there's the scenes alone keep you into the movie no matter what. Is it the best plot in the world? It's a great idea, right?
It's like the greatest idea.
Right. But it doesn't make the best story until you have all the great scenes, right? The funny stuff that they write into it.
Yeah.
Wes is going to go buy a house on campus
Dude,
instead of.
I've already looked. I've already looked.
You
Oh
can't get proper zoning for your fraternity, right?
God.
Well, and then I didn't realize this. So, did you realize the dude from Suits, Patrick Adams, like the main guy from Suits, is one of the kids for the sorority or for the fraternity?
Oh, I didn't know that.
You just barely see him, and I'm like, hey, that's that dude.
Really?
We'll just call our movie Older School.
Yeah.
I gotta look at that real quick here. Where is he? Patrick Adams.
Dude, they should do a sequel, Older School. Jeez.
Oh man, we okay, so let's wrap this up because we could talk old school all night. But also the one last one is you got to talk about the Andy Dick scene.
The blowjob.
He like the all the wives pay him to come over and teach him, and he just plays that role so well. Will Ferrell comes in the back and tries like strangle him, and he flips him over. And
That's right. I forgot about that.
all right, so we'll wrap old school there. 5 stars. Got to see it. Great starts movie of the week. If you have any movie of the weeks, put it in the comments. Love to hear it, and we'll put in some good thought to mixing these up. And what a great day! I mean, we do a lot of top fives, but here's another new kind of topic that I wanted to do with our top fives. And I'll probably want to expand this into genres and more other types as we do something like this. But I was thinking about, rating scenes out of movies because there were so many good scenes in old school, right? I was playing that through my head, going, wow, just scene after scene after scene. And then you start thinking about other movies. And one of the movies that popped up for me was Office Space. And so of all the top fives we always do, we've never really done like too many top five scenes like alone. It's always a movie, it's always, something else. So we get to talk another very funny movie in Office Space. And I feel like Office Space might be a little bit more recognizable than Old School for some people. What do you guys think?
Well, yeah, I think it's got more of a cult following.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I don't definitely because like it's like your job. Like you just want to say, what you really, really, really feel, but you can't.
Right.
And it's like in it, so it speaks to everybody. It's like this is what I want to tell. But yeah, it's a another great concept because
Well,
people probably watch it over and over.
the thing is it's so relatable
Yeah.
for a lot of people, and not just because everybody works in a cube and everybody works in this type of environment, but it just encompasses work as a whole. Doesn't matter if you're in an office or out in the field or on a construction site. There's always this like these things that happen within work where you're like, it just doesn't make any sense, or this is horrible, or I can't believe they're doing this again. And that just happens. And so this movie becomes very relatable in that sense. So what we're talking today though is we're talking, top five clips in this movie that for us are top five. Probably different than a lot of other people's top fives. And so let's go ahead and work our way down. So from five to one, kind of throw these scenes in as we go. Derek, why don't you lead us off with a number five
This was hard
scene?
because I celebrate the whole collection of scenes from Office Space. So it's I kind of, like all of them are number one to me.
I'm a
Um,
Michael Bolton fan.
yes, but so I'll start with, oh, your name's Michael Bolton. And it's like, what's your favorite song from his? I celebrate his whole collection.
Right. And that's so good because at the end, the best part is he's like, you can just call me Mike,
And he's
and it's
like,
like
oh, okay,
done.
you're out.
Oh man, that's a good one. That's funny because I love that part of the movie, but I didn't pull it out as a specific scene for me or part of the movie. All right, Wes, you got one?
Number five, I like the copy machine part, where they just take the copy machine out, and then it's like kids
Yeah.
like going after it and hit it with the bat, and it's like they just take it pretty personal.
Well, you got the music in the
The
background,
music, yeah,
and that's kind of the best part of that scene. The funny thing about a movie like this, it's 1999, and it's Mike Judge. I don't know what their um, budget was, but even in that scene, you see how they like beat up the um, the printer, and then it like changes back into another full printer in the mid
yeah.
scene. It's all smashed, and then they do cut, and they come back, and he goes back after it again, and it's all back together. But I know they didn't know that. They probably just filmed it and put all those clips together. But that's a great scene. That's very recognizable from the movie. All right, well, you can't really talk Office Space, and I don't put it too high because at some point it just feels overwhelming over the top. But you got to put TPS reports when he's like, it's the best when he's on the phone because he picks up the phone and he's like, no,
Yeah.
like I do
Um,
not have her. The
That's
TPS
that's
report.
my that's my four too. It's like I'm not lazy, I just don't care. That's such a great line.
Right.
It's like,
Oh, it's a matter of motivation, Bob.
yeah,
So I got to put TPS reports in there. It's not top for me, which I know it is for a lot of people, but I get it started. That's still one of my favorite parts of the movie is and because they just play it throughout the movie, right? Like, what's that I hear about you having problems with your TPS report? And he brings it up later and he's like, dude. All
yeah.
right. Scene four. Well, we already know Wes is four, right? And so it is a good one because he's at the point where he's doesn't care anymore. And he's playing that part so well when he's like, I just don't care anymore. It's a matter of motivation. If they ship a little bit extra, what do I get?
Yeah.
That's a very real scene feeling when you watch that one. You're like, yeah, why are we doing more? Let's see. So four for me, oh man, this is where the scenes get really hard. And this scene you appreciate more after you've seen the movie, especially multiple times. But at the beginning of the movie, when he's sitting in his car and Michael Bolton and he's playing his music really loud, and then the guy comes over to he's out selling flowers on the side and he like slowly locks the door and turns down his music that's playing real loud in his gangster rap. And it's not as funny until you see him later in the movie how he acts and who he is, and then you get that scene more because it's so early in the movie. And then even you watch the movie multiple times, it cracks you up right at the beginning.
Yeah.
So I gotta have that in my number four scene.
Um, Mine is kind of it's with the two Bobs, and when he's talking to him about, well, you see, yeah, like the TPS report. And don't get me started on the TPS reports, and then they're all like, John C. McGillen is getting all mad, or yeah, when Lumberg's talking to them,
Right.
and he's like, yeah, I don't think he's gonna work out, and he's like, huh?
And the other one's like, I
He's
got this.
he's a straight shooter.
He's a straight shooter.
He's management material.
And he's like, let me ask you, how much time do you spend on these TPS reports?
Yeah.
Yeah. So great scene there. All right, getting there, top three. This is where it gets real difficult for me because I've seen the movie quite a few times, and there's a lot of things about the movie that you pick up on as you go. But one of the best ones, and there's a part in the scene that's funny because his next door neighbor can hear through the wall, is Lawrence, and he's like, and so first of all, that they just yell back and forth through the wall is hilarious. Like he's like, Peter, check out channel 9, and it's like they can hear
Doesn't
each
that
other's.
look like Anne?
But the best scene for sure with the two of them is when they're talking about what would you do if you had $1 million? And Lawrence, the character, is just like two chicks at one time. And he's just like, that's it? That's all you do? And he's like, yep. It's just so funny because it looks so real in the acting job they both do there. But the whole like neighbor thing and that whole thing is a funny part and probably one of the funniest parts of the movie. So I gotta throw that one in at three.
Yeah, I could have just done the top five of him talking with Lawrence. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
uh,
Oh, there's so many good. Put him
but
to
I go,
draw.
this is the prequel to the copy machine, but it's well, what's his name? Uh, when Samir
Yeah.
is trying, like, what is this paper jam? Why always paper jam?
And the PC load letter is the same too,
Yes.
right?
And I understand that so much. Like
Right.
I used to have a job where we had like this green bar printer and it would print all my reports. And when I came in, I needed all those reports to go. And I go in and it was a paper jam. So like hours of stuff hadn't been printed.
It's always the way, right? How many printers, if you ever worked in the industry, like I sell printers, full printers, all my life, like it's always a printer problem. That's
Yeah.
why they beat up the printer. But that's good because it's the when he gets so frustrated there, and then same thing when Michael Bolton's over there and he's like, PC load letter? Like, what does that mean? Because what does that mean? So that's a great one. All right, Wes, give us a three.
It's the Jennifer Aniston scene. I don't like my job. I don't think I'm gonna go anywhere. And she's like, well, you're just not going to go? Like, he's like, yeah. Won't you get fired? I don't know. But I really don't like it. So I'm just not gonna go. And then she's like, you're gonna quit. And the best part is he's like, not
No.
really. I'm just gonna stop going.
Oh,
That's
so
just
good.
you're just like you're the best part's like, wait, you're just gonna quit. It's like, no, I'm just gonna stop going.
Stop going. How you gonna pay bills? Yeah, I never really liked doing that either. I'm not gonna do that either. Oh man, that is a good scene. That is a really good scene because and there's a lot to that scene, but that's probably one of the best parts of it. But the whole thing of them meeting for that lunch meeting is that's a great scene. Love it. All right, well, here's where we're getting the rubber meets the road. What do you got there at two, Derek?
It's like the combo of him taking down his cubicle and then him also, you know, cutting the fish and doing the fish and throwing all the fish parts everywhere.
On the TPS reports.
Yeah. It's like he went fishing and then he's just cleaning his fish and in the office.
Right. Yeah, and they're fishing earlier in the day. It's so great because he still goes in, right? He's like, he had time to get up, go early morning fishing, but then he was like, "Oh, I better go clean these at the office."
And then like Lumberg is like trying to gun him and he's like zoop right around him.
Oh, that's good. Love it. All right, number two, Wes, what do you got?
I it's Lawrence scene with the $1 million.
Yeah.
That's my number two. Two chicks one time. That's it. Like,
Look
Well,
at
and
me.
there's like Derek said, there's so many of them though, back
there's
and
so
forth
many
with
of them.
them. He's like, even when they're doing their secret plan, he's like, "Don't worry, I won't tell anybody either." And they're like, "Who's that guy?"
It's like that's Lawrence. He's cool. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about Lawrence. He's cool. So just a great bit there for that one.
Everybody has a Lawrence in their life.
Right.
There's a Lawrence.
There's gotta be. Well, the two for me is one of my favorites just because of the concept, the scene, everything is the Tom, the guy who gets hit in the accident in the wheelchair, and he's like brings out the jump to conclusions mat. And you're just like, what? And it doesn't even like it's not even a real thing because like you're just jumping to where you want to go. So how's that jumping to conclusions? But he like gets hit by the car, so he's in the wheelchair and he's got like the neck brace on, and he's showing Peter the jump to conclusions mat. And he's like, "Don't worry, Peter. If you keep going, you'll end up just like me. It'll work out for you." In his wheelchair, and
Like
but he got
everyone's
his
like,
$1 million.
he's so lucky that he got hit.
Oh, the jump to conclusions, Matt. Best invention ever. All right, and then that was who didn't do their two yet? Derek, did you do your two?
Yeah, I think it's down to the ones.
All right, down to the ones. Why don't you start us off, Wes?
I gotta finish up with Lawrence when Jennifer Aniston's over there and he's like, they're about to kiss. and he's like, "Hey, dude, check out Channel 9." It's
Doesn't
like,
that look
what
like
did he say?
Anne?
The breasting. I was like, it's just so random.
Oh, and they're like, it's the
Yeah.
whole kung fu. They're getting ready to watch kung
Yeah.
fu and hang out, and of course, Lawrence has got to jump in. Oh, that's a good one. You gotta love Lawrence in that movie. Well, the for me the best scene in the movies though is when the three of them are sitting around coming up with the plan, and it goes from like all the conversation of how they do it, what if they get caught, and then finally ends up with them having a big party, drinking all night, and deciding that they're gonna set up the Superman 3 plan. And the one of the best parts of Samir is like he's like, I don't want to go to any prison, because they start talking about like federal prison versus
Yeah.
like other prison, and
Yeah.
just that whole scene's fun just because that's the whole movie really is their plan to stick it to the man and get the money back by calculating the pennies, or the not even whole pennies. And so that part for me is number one scene. It's great because the dude shows up, remember? So the guy shows up with the selling the magazine subscriptions, and he's like, I used to be hooked on drugs, and they're like, oh, he must know how to launder some money later.
That's right.
Yeah, he's like, no, I was like a programmer. I was at this
Yeah.
place. Well, and it
And
was
so
Orlando Jones too, so it was
right,
like,
it's Orlando Jones. But it kind of that the beginning of that scene, or the scene I'm talking about, leads into that later. It's just it goes all really well together. Makes the movie. All right, Derek, number one. What do you got?
this is like this is every day in my life, and it's Peter talking to Lawrence, and he's like, at your job, does anyone ever say, do you got the case of the Mondays? And
That's
he's
it.
like, no, no, man. I believe you get your ass kicked for saying something like that.
I was thinking about that one. I was like, that was, yeah.
And
That is
I swear, it's like, on my job, and then people are like, oh, it's Monday.
right.
Everyone's tired. Got a case of the Mondays.
And everybody's also like, Wednesdays it's hump day, and
Yeah.
happy Friday. Every Friday, happy Friday. Like, I don't like any of these days.
Yeah.
That's a really good one.
Sadly, we didn't mention Milton at all.
I know, but man, it's he's great. Very short scenes though, but one of the best for him has to be when the he makes him move downstairs. And he's like, I'm gonna go ahead and need you to move down to storage room B. And he's like, oh, I'm gonna need that stapler. He
Yeah.
takes it away from him.
Well, and then I think I've said this before on a fun fact. There was no such thing as a red swing line stapler before the movie Office Space.
Yeah. They better thank him for that. Did he
Yeah.
get royalties on that?
I
Yeah.
don't know, but
Trademark.
that's also Office Space was started as a Milton short
Right.
comic, like short on TV.
Yeah, so he's kind of the basis of that original comic for the movie. But man, they just do such a good job. Um, I mean, honorable mentions, like the one guy, the blonde guy. I know he's not a super popular actor,
Oh,
Drew.
oh,
He's like, you be showing her your O face. I'll be showing my O face later.
or the Wachowskis where Jennifer Aniston's quitting and the guy's like, pew pew pew.
Right. That guy's hilarious the whole time though. He's like, can I get you some fajita poppers or some shrimp shooters? Wes, you probably deal with guys like that at Applebee's all the time. You're like, dude, where's your flair? Jennifer Aniston's pretty funny though with the flair one, because that's Mike Judge playing it in that too as well.
Right.
He's
Like the
playing the
whole,
the boss,
how much flair do you want me to get?
right?
Well,
And then she's like, "You want to see my flair?" Flips him off. Here's my flair. Oh, great movie again. So two really good movies. This one, again, we just looked at some scenes from it, top five scenes. Quick review on Old School, but yeah, if you have any recommendations for movie of the week, throw them in. We're gonna have some more scenes across different movies. So instead of out of one movie, watch next week. We're gonna talk about different types of scenes from across genres or different movies. So that'll be for next week. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.